Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Lim-Nakran. Looking at some of the top stories that we're following right now, crews responding to a fire right here on Ponce de Leon Avenue in Midtown at a historic building there. This is the second time in 2 months that firefighters are battling flames in a block of historic Midtown buildings. So a little after 7:50 this morning, crews were called to 300 Ponce de Leon Avenue, known as the Kodak Building. Here is a look from our first alert chopper over the scene of some images captured earlier today. But, thankfully, we're happy to report no injuries or deaths in this fire, according to Atlanta Fire and Rescue. The building also did catch fire in early June alongside the neighboring building that used to house the Atlanta Eagle, which was an iconic gay bar. The Eagle did move to Ansley Square in 2022. Meanwhile, the former Kodak shop has been abandoned for years now, but you can see quite a scene there as firefighters have been battling flames at this historic Midtown building on Ponce de Leon Avenue this morning. Of course, we're going to keep following the latest developments there. Okay, let's talk about this incident involving an Amazon truck. Quite a scene that this caused when, an Amazon truck collided with a pole, as you can see. You see some images captured of the scene. So this is in Fairburn, and it happened at the corner of Smith and Washington Streets, and apparently knocked out power, affecting numerous customers. The good news is power has since been restored. Crews had to spend hours working to get that truck unstuck, essentially, and the power back on, but happy to report that all's well that ends well. The power is now back on in the Fairburn community after an Amazon truck hit a power pole at the corner of Smith and Washington Streets there. Okay, let's talk about this other fire that crews have been battling as well. They're still putting out some hot spots at an East Point apartment complex that left 75 people displaced. And Atlanta News First, Rachel Aragon reports from Fulton County as residents deal with a massive loss.
Good morning. We can tell you from being on scene for several hours, there is clear damage to the roof, but right behind me is the remaining fire truck still on scene, where crews are targeting the last bit of smoke coming from one of these units. Well, fire officials say the large fire at this apartment complex has left 75 residents displaced. They say a resident called 911 yesterday after seeing heavy smoke and fire coming from a unit. Officials say at least 17 units are severely damaged. The cause of the fire is under investigation, but officials say a lightning strike is being considered as a possible cause. East Point Fire says there are no reports of injuries at this point. Some families we spoke with say they went door to door trying to help get people out safely.
I try to make sure everybody okay. I don't know what everybody gonna do for myself and my brother. I'm just glad everybody made it out.
And back here at the scene, you can see crews still hard at work as they've been all morning long trying to make sure there are no hot spots and that the fire is completely out. We're also told by fire officials that the Red Cross has been contacted to help these people who were displaced find housing assistance. Reporting in East Point this morning, Rachel Aragon, Atlanta News First.
Thanks so much, Rachel, for that report. Of course, we're going to keep following the latest there as 75 people were displaced in that fire. Okay, let's talk about what's happening with MARTA, because happening today, MARTA's board of directors is meeting for the first time since the transit agency decided to delay a huge renovation project at the 5 Points MARTA station in downtown Atlanta. A lot of mixed feelings, a lot of controversy about that for sure. Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm tells us that that project would have impacted street access and bus routes for a year and a half. Here's more.
MARTA officials were under a lot of pressure to postpone the project until they could come up with some other solutions. We expect the subject will come up during public comments at today's board meeting. Everyone agrees that the 5 Points MARTA station needs an overhaul. It has a 40-year-old canopy which has cracked over time, causing water intrusion that has led to mold and now electrical problems for the trains. MARTA has a $230 million plan to build a whole new canopy at 5 Points. The problem is the initial plan was to close street access to the 5 Points MARTA station during the renovation and relocate pedestrian access and 8 bus routes for 18 months. The mayor pushed back on this with MARTA, and so did riders and advocacy groups like Propel ATL.
And as someone who uses 5 Points regularly, you see the need for repairs firsthand. But the thing is, you have to be able to do construction projects and maintain pedestrian and bus rider access.
This is where my bus comes to, and they said we got to go to another station to get in, to get on the train, and I need to get on the train to get where I got to go.
We told you a couple of weeks ago that MARTA, under pressure, did decide to hold off on the 5 Points project. The question is, will it resume, and if so, when? The mayor has suggested that MARTA consider other spending priorities. We will let you know what happens at today's meeting. It's scheduled for 1:30. In Buckhead at the MARTA headquarters, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
Thanks so much to Rebecca for that report. All right, let's get over to First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris. I see that radar. I see a little bit of green. That's not much, I think.
You are absolutely correct, Joy. Not much right now, but we do have more storms that will be developing later on this afternoon. So today is a First Alert weather day. We want to make sure that everybody is aware of that, similar to what we've seen over the past several days. Again, today is a First Alert weather day, even though we're not seeing much out there right now that will impact us later on this afternoon. Hello, everybody. Let's bring me on here. I'm First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris. Hope you're off to a good start to your Thursday. So as Joy mentioned, on the right-hand side of your screen, that is First Alert radar. Yesterday, we actually had some storms that really exploded in Alabama and impacted us. That's not the case this morning. So we do believe that it will stay dry for the rest of the morning here in Metro Atlanta. But things will change later on this afternoon. So here's a look at this high-resolution forecast model, which is updated already just over like the past 10 minutes. Staying dry through lunch. Right after lunch today, we'll start to see these showers and storms pop up. So you'll see that on this forecast model, basically between noon and 3. Now, if you want to have lunch outdoors, you'll probably be fine. But again, especially by 2 o'clock, we'll start to see those showers, and they will continue through 3. Today, the pattern is a little bit different. We actually have a front that's moving through North Georgia. It will be going from north to south. So initially, these showers and storms will be in the mountains, swinging down into Atlanta. And then by the time you're driving home from work later on today, we are showing showers and storms over Metro Atlanta, just like the past several days. This is our First Alert weather day. And then after you drive home from work, the focus of the showers and storms will start to shift south of I-20 along with this front. So for today, lunch is fine. If you're driving home from work in Metro Atlanta, expect showers and storms. And then if you're headed out to dinner, if you're north of I-20, you're fine. If you're south of I-20, you will still see showers and storms. So in terms of the rain today, what you can expect, obviously rain. Lightning will be out there as well, so keep that in mind if you're doing anything outdoors. And there's been a few times this week where we've had some severe thunderstorm warnings issued. We're not forecasting any organized severe weather, but we also can't rule out a random severe storm or two with strong winds as the primary threat. So here's that 7-day forecast. And today's high is 90 degrees with the showers and storms around. So the First Alert weather days that you see for today, tomorrow, and Saturday, initially we had those there because of the front. But at this point, as you can see, there's a pretty good chance of rain just about every day this week. So expect showers and storms every single day over the next 7 days, especially in the afternoon and evening. We may adjust the rain chances themselves here and there, but the overall chance of rain will be the very summer-like pattern here for us here in Metro Atlanta. One thing you'll also notice with the extra clouds and the higher rain chances, highs will drop into the 80s. So we've been in the 90s for quite some time. We'll go back into the 80s starting Friday, and that should continue for much of next week. I do want to give you a rain update. So far this year, really normally in a normal year for Atlanta, we get about 49 inches of rain. That's an entire year. So far this year, we've picked up 32 inches. So we're already halfway through what we would typically see. We're ahead of schedule, and we actually have a surplus of rain, almost 4 inches of a surplus for the year, technically. The problem, though, is we're still in a drought in Metro Atlanta. In fact, west part of Metro Atlanta, including Cobb County, Paulding County, Douglas County, far west Fulton County, a severe drought. And then as you go through the rest of Metro Atlanta, it's a moderate drought. So we are in a drought, which is why this rain is so important for us here over the next 7 days. And it is something that we will certainly see. So again, for today, lunch you'll be fine. Right after lunch, showers and storms will start moving in as you're driving home from work. You'll see those showers and storms. But for dinner tonight, again, if you're in Atlanta northward, it'll be dry. If you're south of I-20, those showers and storms will be around. So we'll be here keeping you up to date. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez will have an updated look at your forecast on Atlanta News First at noon. You can always get that forecast in the First Alert weather app. Hope you guys have an amazing Thursday. And until next time, we'll see you soon.